Hey, welcome to more random thoughts in random places. Now, as we discussed, a lot of you have private messaged me and asked me to talk more about ghosting because that seems to be something that's happening more often than not, especially in my day. I mean, yes, in my time, you'd have moments where somebody might be shy, so they might just run away, hide for a little bit, but it was all of good intentions. They were just a bit nervous. But today, what we get is people being very tactical and choosing whether they want to act like a friend, depending on what that person has. If they've got anything of value to the person that's doing the ghosting, because the ghoster is a tactical person. They were never in any relationship, whether it be friendships, situationships, workships. It doesn't matter. You are simply a pawn. Where can I place you? What will you do for me? How will you feed my ego? And so what we have is people telling me that when they think they're in genuine friendships or relationships, they're simply not. They never saw it coming because they're being genuine around a disingenuous person. This person was never, ever, 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 ever seeing you as any value at all. No substance. They don't see you as a human being with feelings. All they see is they need to get from A to B. And that's why you've got more people losing friendships, because it was never a friendship in the first place. When you think you've got colleagues that you can trust, no, you can't trust them, because the number one thing for them is getting their way to the top. And if they have to pretend, whatever they have to pretend, whatever they have to act, whatever character they need to pretend to be to get what they need out of people, they will do it. And then they will be gone. Hence the ghosting. They'll stop talking to you, and what they'll do is they'll show you signs that they're about to do that, because they will not be as friendly as they were, and they'll make out that the friendship was barely anything. You just kind of knew each other on the grapevine and only got together when your friends' friends invited them. No, they will totally lie about the whole relationship. And this is why people are left standing, dumbfounded, can't understand why that has happened. It's because people don't value humans these days. We value them to a certain extent, but they're at the bottom of the barrel. What you feel doesn't matter anymore. Where they need to get does. And that surpasses you, what you brought to the table, everything. So you can just write them off. And I can see why people don't want to open up anymore and risk their energy, because you don't expect that at the end of a friendship that's lasted so many years. How can you drag it on for so many years knowing full well it means nothing? And that's where even I struggle, because I can't believe, I know it happens, but my mind still has trouble believing that people could stoop that low and be that shallow, really, and not feel that there is anything to be had in true friendships, like people who really got your back, really, 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 truly got your back, instead of all of this, I'm in your life and then I've suddenly disappeared. But this is happening more often than not, because the dynamics have changed. Like I said, people don't value friendships, and they certainly don't value them lasting forever. It's you were good for then, but I don't need you now syndrome. And so what we have here is take you off the shelf, put you back on. Take you off the shelf, put you back on. And I'll see you when I need you. For a lot of people, not just some, for a lot of people, that is really traumatic. And yes, there's the need to have friendship, to have that comfort, but there are times when it's more dangerous to go looking for that than it is to just be as you are, stay on your own. Friendships aren't what they used to be. People aren't what they used to be. They value different things now, and it's all about scraping to get to the top, so you're not at the bottom where everyone will make fun of you. because that's what worries people more often than not, is how people perceive them to be, rather than looking at the qualities of just being a genuine person. It's just, how can I jump on the bandwagon? How can I copy everybody else? How can I make sure that I am not the one that's having the piss taken out of them? How can I avoid that? Oh, I know, I'll stump on everybody's head. So everybody's scraping not to be the one that everyone's going to take the piss out. Everyone's trying to avoid being used. And the tactics that they're using to do that is diabolical. And so now what we have is a low vibrational society pretending to be high vibrational, trying to shut people like myself down who are bringing this to light, all this double standard crap. You know, it's got to stop. It's got to stop, because people are asking and wondering why. Oh, why is it all so toxic? Why is it all going downhill? Why is it not working? Because you're being a deceitful, untrue being. I'm not even going to swear. I'm not going to say the words. And for you to not understand why that's happening, a lot of it is to do with your behavior, how we are treating each other, how we are seeing each other as expendable, and then having the cheek to think you can walk back into that person's world with your slimy little tactics. So for any of you who are on the receiving end of this, you've seriously got to watch their behavior, watch what they value, okay? Watch how they distance themselves, but they no longer engage or even connect with you on the level that you remember and know full well that they did. They will be in total denial, call you mad and crazy, and say that you're a troublesome person, you're a problem, you've got this, that, and the other. They will make out that you don't know how to get through your traumas and that you're just a total dilapidated, problematic piece of mess. That's what they'll do. They're very good at trying to get their new batch of friends and their new people to see you as a flaw, something that was almost dangerous, an issue. So they had to just move you out the way. And most of the time, yes, they will discredit you. So if this is in your local sort of vicinity, listen out for how they will try to discredit you and your character and make out that they had to run a mile because, as the men do with the women, oh, she's crazy, she's crazy. And as the women will do with the men, oh, he's violent, he's violent. Yeah, they'll chat their lies, they'll chat their deceit, because they are tactical people. So it's all about getting you to think and feel how they want you to think and feel, so it serves their purpose. So it doesn't surprise me that I have got a lot of people telling me that they're dumbfounded. They don't understand why someone doesn't want to connect with them anymore, why they've totally whitewashed them out, don't speak to them, have no reason not to. It's because they're slimy. That's why, sweetheart, that they never had a reason in the first place to treat you like they're treating you, unless it's a genuine thing where that person is so toxic you really do need to remove yourself from that situation. But most of the time, for people who are genuine and valued their friendships, this is happening because people are at different levels with their ego. As I said, the Chris Watt effect. Now they've got the place and the feeling and all the fulfillment of where they want to be. Suddenly, they think they need a new batch of friends. Or they've got this idea that I can do better than you. Right, that arrogance and that ignorance is just to dismiss you like you're nothing. They're going off now. But you were good for them when they were at rock bottom. And they will never appreciate you for that. That's when you know a ghoster. A ghoster will not appreciate you for that. They will say, your problem, your fault. Now, to balance this out, we do have to be honest with ourselves. We need to look in the mirror, reflect deep, and try and understand why we are still allowing that person in our life and why we are giving them chance after chance, time after time. Yes, you might have put a lot of energy into the relationship. Yes, you might value it. However, you don't go back to being treated like a punk. So why would you do that? You've got to ask something about inside of you, because as much as a coward they are to reflect it back on you, there is some truth in it. So let's take that truth and let's own it. You're right. You're right. Maybe we still have a few insecurities left in there. Maybe there's that fear of missing the boat, and you might never, ever, ever feel or experience love again. Maybe you thought that you needed to do this, and maybe you thought I could compromise because I just need love. I want to be loved and I want to give love. No, no, no. You cannot do it, because what happens there is it's the dirty little worms that will come out, and they'll sniff that, they'll smell that. Oh, look, he or she's desperate to be loved. They just want to give love. They're a wholesome, loving person. Oh, how can I take the piss out of that? That's what we emanate towards us, because we're not finished with the healing, because there are ways to detect a ghoster, because they come with issues in the first place. They come with the red flags, but we just choose to ignore them. We choose to ignore them. I myself, why do you think I do random thoughts in random places? I myself got caught out with that. And I just had to go back to the drawing board and ask myself, why was I doing that? Why was I allowing someone to be so cold and so hurtful and so blatant, and then still accept that friendship? I was stupid, and I have learned a very harsh lesson from doing that, because where I had worked on my confidence, this person was able to just take that away. So I had to go back and rebuild all my confidence again, because they were sucking off my energy. Because it was cool to be seen with me. It was cool to hang with me, you know? And that's all that person was doing it for, just to feed their own libido, the lack of it. And because they were damaged and hurt by somebody that did something to them. So what this person did was, oh, I'm going to now copy that, and I'm going to do that which that person made me feel. It's the most pathetic, the most basic brain kind of operating that you can find. How easy is that to do? Oh, I've had this happen to me, so now I'm going to go and be horrible to someone else, and I'm going to try and make them feel as low as I do. Wrong. And all I can say, my sweethearts, is that person that did that to you, what goes around comes around, because you can't get out of your traumas doing that. You will go back round where you came from, and it will be them that will sit there crying and realizing, oh my God, I've lost good people. Yeah, you have lost good people. You have lost good people. And I'm a true believer in we get what we deserve, and you will be left with what you deserve. And so don't worry, my darlings, about having everything that you valued and you thought they valued and that you thought you had an understanding. Clearly there wasn't, but don't let that deter you, because what it does show you is what a beautiful person you are. And don't ever change that. Just change who you give that to. And that can be kind of a bit of an ordeal and a process, but it is possible. Take it from me, I've done it. It is possible. It hurts. It hurts to be used. It does. It just does. And I don't like the way humans try to whitewash that and downplay that, like, oh, get over it, it's nothing. Stop making and asking people to just shove their emotions aside like they don't matter, because they do matter. They do matter. We are emotional beings, and we will always be emotional beings. So let's stop pretending, right? When you're hurting, don't engage with people and bring them down. You can see that they've been in an ordeal in their own life. The last thing they need is you coming in and being an absolute piece of shite. You know damn well ahead of time what you're going to do. It never meant anything. It's tactical. You can go from one to the other. I do understand people like that, but I myself don't ever behave like that. I can't stand it. It's cheap. It's cruel. And it gives the impression that basically those people that ghost people think they're an exception to the rule. You just want to avoid having your feelings hurt, don't you? Because your ego is massive. Yeah, it's massive. And that's why these people are doing it. They're also very insecure, and they don't want to feel what you are brave enough to go out and do, which is open yourself up. Because at the end of the day, if you're looking to engage in relationships, there's nothing really else you can do apart from open yourself up and be brave. But like I said, there are people that will go into that world knowing full well they are not ready, but they have no qualms of being hurtful to other people, because the only feelings they are able to manage and care about are their own. They couldn't give a toss what it done to you. And that's where it hurts, because when you realize they just don't give a shit about the level of capacity of where that's now put you. They only ever cared about where you were going to help them with their feelings. And then the minute they are fulfilled, they're gone. They are gone. And you will see them totally ignore you, and they will brag about all of the compliments they're now getting, and all sorts of the wolf whistles here and walking around there. The Chris Watts effect. How it can turn someone a bit delusional. How it can turn someone to suddenly not value that which is the most important, and that which has substance, and that which has meaning. They will cast all that aside because it's all about that ego, filling that libido. Oh, I'm the man, I'm the woman. Look at me, everybody. I'm feeling so wonderful. And they will piss on the people that were there for them when they weren't feeling so wonderful. And that was you, sweetheart. And so I absolutely wholeheartedly know it hurts, and it does deter you from wanting to open yourself. And remember when we spoke about how betrayal does this as well. When someone betrays you, you have a completely different perception now. And the trust level just goes so far down. And it's very difficult to do anything in life if you don't have trust. It is very hard to make choices, to make decisions, whether to allow someone into your world or not. Because the last thing we want to do is bring horror and noise. We want calm and tranquility. But at the same time, we are emotional beings and we love connection. We've got to connect at some point. And it's a scientific fact that when you don't get enough of that, your brain starts to shut down and you can no longer function the way you do. You can no longer learn in the way that you were learning, because your body is being denied things that are natural, things that it needs to flourish. And that is connection, to bond, to have deep, meaningful relationships, whatever that may be. But we need to stop all this shallow, calculated, I need to fix my fucking ego, I need to have my libido licked, and so it can last for about 5 minutes. But through that, you have destroyed something that was years. You allowed people to believe a perception of you that was untrue, very untrue. And then the minute you were happy and felt safe to reveal the true you, you then go and do that. And you do it with your fingers stuck up. Like that person that entertained you, that gave you their energy, is just a complete and utter fool and stupid. Well, you're not a fool, my darlings, and you're certainly not stupid, okay? You're kind, sweet, and loving, and exceptionally rare in today's environment when it comes to human beings. You are exceptionally rare. And my words to you would be, sweetheart, don't change. Just change who you give that to. And like I said, when you are engaging in what looks like is going to become a friendship, what have you, you're just engaging with someone, you never know where that will go, what you've got in common, do look for the red flags. Okay, so it'll be wise to ask these people, what do they value in life? Do they have an ethos? Do they have any morals and ethics on anything? And hold them to that. Remember the words that they're telling you and make a note of that, just in case later down the road you hear that they've completely changed, or they are not doing that which they say. So their words and actions are not matching. You know, unfortunately, people do see people as pawns. Money has more depth and meaning. Property has more depth and meaning. And simply, a human being is only there to lift someone up if and when they need. That's now how we treat each other. And this is why you are getting people that are seeing you as expendable, and how they could have acted that for so many years. Yeah, shocking. That's why they are true narcissists. Narcissists. The only person they really, really love is themselves. And it's all self-pity. How should that have happened to me? I don't like that. I'm not going to go through my traumas and heal. I'm going to take what I want when I want from everybody else who has done their shadow work, who has painstakingly gone through their healing. Okay, these people will live off of you, off of your energy. They will take your effort. They will see you do all the work. So for us genuine people in a very disingenuous world, we got to look out for each other. And this is what I say. Let's look for one another. Let's support one another. And don't ever change. Just change who you give it to, my sweethearts. So on that note, I just wanted to mention as well, I've been having a few technical issues with my podcast stuff, but I'm getting there. And rather than cheat with the AI, where it sets it all up for you and you're not really a part of the work that you're doing, which I find preposterous, I'm doing it the long way, the hard way. So I'm learning a lot about the tech, which I have never done before. So if you just bear with me, I will keep bringing you these little videos, but I will be having podcasts and I will be doing guests. It's just taking me a little bit longer than usual. So, hey, listen, stay true, be loving, be you. And on that note, my loves, have a wonderful Sunday. And as always, Jala.